Wings row 81. 07.
Hello, wing. Full 9 Spitfire 08, take off. Those infantry there, they can cause troubles when we're taking off or when we're going to hit other targets, so I'll try and take them out. There's still something left. Really difficult to see now. Really difficult. What I have to do now is look for the containers that would have been left from my previous run. And that's roughly where they'll be. And that's with zoom as well. Okay, so there we are, they're keeping their position away. 3 are gone, 2 of them are not. Still difficult, I can't see it at the moment. Didn't see him at all on that pass. As good as gone. I think I need to, but they have hit me a couple of times, so I'm on R2B. 1 on R2B, coming in on 08. There might not be anyone on radio at the moment, so I might be talking to myself. Now the convoy is shooting at me. Picking up too much speed. Go gears down, flat. The landings have been a bit ropey lately. I'll pull to the north edge, get repaired and rearm. Well, no, I can get repair and rearm, north edge of runway. Repair takes about 3 minutes. I've got to wait for that blade to stop completely, otherwise I won't touch it.
Request repair. Copy. Request rearming. Copy.
I've got some peppering on the wings, and I feel as though they hit my engine area as well, but I'm not seeing any particular damage. It's just the wings, and I was lucky they didn't hit the tyres. They're a bit, the hits are a bit far out on the starboard wing. On the port wing, that could have been close. Countdown of repair shows on top right screen. 110 seconds. I can be adjusting my trims in the meantime and prep for takeoff.
Wings row 81. Well, finally sighting in the spit.
I assume that means sitting in the spit, I guess. Yeah.
Wings row 81. No clue how to start it though. Wings
Oh,
row
hang on.
81. Just looking around.
So you're in the Spitfire, are you? And are you in this server wing? Because I will certainly try and be of help with all that. It's fairly straightforward. The Spitfire takeoff startup is not complicated. Oh, there you are. Okay. I'll stay roughly where I am. If you have my stream, I suppose I could talk through it. Do you want me to just talk through startup for you, and you can do it bit by bit? Actually, it'd be good to get your radio going as well, Wing, because that would really be a big help. So you'd use
Wings row 81. I only use SRS.
Oh,
Wings row 81. But
well, you could for this
Wings row
occasion,
81.
maybe.
Don't worry about it.
It's not much setting up to use the radio on the aircraft.
Wings
Just like
row 81.
a sign, a push to
Even
talk.
if I get it started, I won't be able to take off anyway.
No, maybe not to start with. It took me. There was a time when I thought, "Oh, I'm not going to be able to take off in the Spit," and then it clicks and you get it. You get it. But I was doing it all by myself. So if you've got someone helping you, if I can help you and give you some pointers regarding takeoff. So yeah, I'd love to help you with the Spitfire. Do you want me to just talk through
Wingslow
startup?
81. I can use Discord though.
Okay, all right. On Laxor's channel, hold on. Laxor's channel, his master's voice. I'm sitting there waiting. And in case of you're ahead of me, first things to do before you start the engine is put your brake fully on and put your prop pitch fully fine.
Hello. Hey. You can use Vox, I don't mind. I mean, I can only hear you on Discord anyway, so.
Yeah, but it's delay. Yeah, you can hear me. Anyway, I'm on push
There's
to
no
talk
delay
now.
on Discord.
Sorry?
There's no delay on Discord, though. There's no reason to push the talk. But anyway.
I just always feel more comfortable with push to talk. I don't know why. It's just me. I don't know why. But anyway, I've got it now. We're cooking. So, do you want me to just talk through the startup for you?
Yeah, sure. I've not done. I don't think I this is like the first time sitting in this thing. I bought it a long time ago, but like I tried messing around with the 109 a long time ago, but yeah, that was pretty hard to take off in.
Yeah, well, the 109 and the Spitfire are both narrow wheelbase tail draggers, aren't they? So they are going to be more of a challenge, but they're okay. You get the feel of it. You really will get the feel of it, and then when you do, you'll love it. I believe you'll love it. Right. So make sure have you got something mapped for your brake?
Not sure.
I have I use the Thrustmaster Warthog, and there's a slider, a rotary slider, and I use that to put my brake to operate my brake. So it's an axis, but I put a brake fully on. There's a couple of things you need to learn about when you're taxiing, because you don't have toe brakes on a Spitfire, which you're probably aware.
No, not really.
You just got that one.
I fly helicopters, so that's all. And a couple of modern jets. That's all I really know. So
that lever on the top of the stick is your brake, and it'll apply braking to whichever wheel is being favoured by the rudder. So left rudder, apply brake, it'll put braking on the left wheel.
Right. And when is it activated? Like when it's leaning to the left or leaning to the right?
It's to the right. So if you imagine that if you look at, if you've got the pilot in place, he reaches his fingers forward and grabs the lever with his fingers and squeezes to put the brake on. It's a bit like a bike brake. Now with the
It's not
Spitfire,
animated though.
sorry,
That's not animated though. Fingers
it,
don't move.
it should be.
No. It's
Yeah,
not.
mine does. Oh, hang on a minute. Where am I? I'm not on the screen. Right. If you see my screen, you'll see that it is animated. It does work. But
Yeah,
that's
the lever works, but the fingers don't work.
Oh, sorry. No, that's right. The fingers, which is a pity, but it would be nice. Okay. Right. So brake fully on, and then prop
Yeah.
pitch fully fine. So fully forward on the prop pitch.
Wait. So the brake all the way on is to the right.
Yes.
And where's the prop pitch?
Prop pitch. I'll show you on here. Can you see it moving on my stream?
Yeah.
So if you can map an axis to that and set the prop pitch fully forward, which is fully fine.
Which means I will have to do my brake on a different axis. Okay.
I see dogs just come in. Dog doors back in. I haven't seen dog door for a little while. Ah, client is tainted, it says, for dog door, so maybe he'll be back, I don't know.
Trying to find the prop pitch on the access command so I don't see it.
Okay.
For the lever. Is it mixture control? Is that it? No.
No, mixture control is basically a button. It's either fully forward or fully back.
Yeah,
You can click that with the mouse.
Yeah, I'm looking at the axis, so to the is it engine RPM?
Engine RPM, yeah, that's your prop pitch, yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's go to the phone. See if that did it. Yeah, okay, that's working.
Okay, so you can put your brake on and you can put your prop pitch fully fine.
To invert to the brake, it stays off. Okay. Just. There we go. Right.
Okay, well now down to your left, in front of the rudder trim, there are a couple of switches, and one of them is going to be your pump, your fuel pump.
And what's the rudder trim? Because you just set the prop pitch, but like you have not said anything about the rudder trim.
No.
Where is that?
I've set that to my. I've got a hat switch on the top, so pushing forward pushes my rudder trim. Sorry, pushing to the right pushes the rudder trim to the right, and I also got elevator trim on the same button, which I push forward for nose down.
And where in the cockpit is that? Because you assume I know where it is. So
Which one? What the knob that you turn?
Yeah, like you're saying something about the trim.
Yeah. So can you see the knob that I'm talking about for the rudder trim? It's to your left, by your left hip.
I've got my pilot turned off though, so.
Oh, okay. Well, if you imagine the pilot, it would be to your left hip.
No, meaning it would be probably much easier if you would turn your pilot off. To be
Oh,
able to
okay.
see things.
I'll do that. How's that?
That's,
Right. So, but I mean, we're talking about rudder trim, but at the moment we're not got that far because all I was doing was talking about the rudder trim. Let's zoom. Rudder trim, so you can identify the two switches. Sorry, three switches. One is difficult to access. If you look at my stream, which is obviously a bit behind, you'll see I'm getting a fuel pump on-off switch. I've assigned a switch to that.
Well, I can easily click them if I just duck down. I can see everything.
Oh, well, if you can,
IR, so.
yeah, well, that's fine. Yeah, I use track IR, but I still find it difficult to see that switch. Although, yeah, I've got it at the moment, perhaps because I'm normally zoomed out. So, yeah, you want your fuel pump.
So let's see. The middle one is pilot heat, and then radiation flap. Just a fuel pump, I guess. Then.
Yeah, just a fuel pump. You don't. Well, you could put your pitot
Right.
heat on in case you're going high.
Yeah. All right.
And likewise your rad flaps. That's up to you. I don't normally touch those, to be honest. I probably should, but I don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
Turn those on.
Right. So let's just think what you've done. I normally put, just for the sake of ease, I normally put my panel lights on as well. The panel lights are two rotary switches just to the left of the two covers that operate the booster and starter buttons.
I don't know what that is, but all right.
Hold on, I'll highlight it on my I forgot you got the stream up. So there, these two buttons that when it finally catches up, these two rotary switches are for the panel lights. They need the tiniest amount of movement to turn them on full.
All right.
You can do that with a mouse because you don't have to assign anything because you're not going to be doing anything with those whilst you're flying. This is all on the ground stuff. One little forward movement on your mouse wheel will turn them on full. Right, so if you got them on, to the right of those you've got two covers. So click the covers to open them up. It's the starter and booster buttons.
Alright.
Right, now you're going to want your magnetos on. So your magnetos are just
all the way to the left.
Near the radio.
Yeah. The two little silver switches all the way to the left. Magnetos.
Oh, no, magnetos are over on the two up and down switches on the left, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, sorry, all the way to the left. I thought it meant turning something to the left. My apologies. Yeah, so on the left, yeah, turn the magnetos on. So they're up for on.
Yeah, alright.
Your fuel is on, your magnetos are on, you've probably got your panel lights on. We need to prime, and then once we've primed, we need to be able to push two buttons at the same time. So you need to push your booster button and your starter button at the same time. So I use a couple of keys on the keyboard for that. I
have two really good buttons for that. That's okay. I just need to bind them then. Define what that is. Start. There we go. Starter button press. That's my problem. Which one's the starter and which one is the boost? Left and right.
I believe
start and boost.
Without actually looking, the boost is on the left. Let's see if it tells me. Hold on.
If you hover over it, usually should.
starter is on the left, booster is on the right of those two.
Okay. Alright. That button and then boost. Booster. Is it booster coil press, I guess? Yeah.
Yeah, if it's not got just booster, it'll be booster coil. Yeah, it pumps up the spark that's going to the engine, basically.
Alright, now I've got both of them bound. Alright.
Right, so if you've done those, you're almost ready to start. You want to prime the engine, so the primer is to the right of those two buttons.
Yeah. How many times do I need to pump it? Because I
Yeah,
do
so-
have some familiarity with the 109. You have to
Ah,
pump
right.
things in.
Yeah. So first of all, unlock it by using your mouse scroll wheel, and then pump it 4 times.
And how do I know when it's unlocked?
Just
The thing
we'll see it
opening is on the
rotate.
top?
It will rotate. Yeah, it's unlocked if that gap is at the top.
Alright. And how many
then-
times do I need to pump it?
Give it 4 pumps because it's cold. If you've I've just got repaired, so my engine's going to be hot. I'm only going to give it 3 pumps when I
3,
start.
4.
Then relock it.
5. Okay. Alright, locked.
Okay, so you can nudge your throttle forward, and if you look at the throttle on the left there, if you can gauge about an inch, but it's roughly so that the trailing edge of the throttle arm is roughly in line with the leading edge of the mixture arm. So I'll zoom in.
Alright.
So when you get there,
So it's a little bit ahead of it.
yeah. So it's about there.
Okay.
So once you've set it there, you're ready to go. Now you can either map a button. It's easier to map a button for your fuel mixture. When you hit that button, the mixture will go forward like that, but not yet. If you do that to start with, it won't start.
Alright, let me find the button for that then.
Yeah, it's best to use a button for that, because you're going to use 3 buttons to start the aircraft. You're going to use the boost and starter, and once it turns over and starts to catch,
what's the button named though?
the button name, it must be mixture, I would think. Hold on, let's see what it says when I hover over it. Mixture control.
Alright.
Mixture control, select idle cutoff, that one.
Mixture control, idle cutoff.
Yep.
That's that. Okay.
That's just a forward or reverse action on that, and you want it in the reverse position to start with. But it's worth testing your button just to make sure it will go forward when you hit your button, and then put it
Is
back.
it okay to do it now though?
Yeah,
Or
you
what
can-
that makes.
Now you can push it forward now just to see it work, and then click it again to bring it back. Well, you can do it with a mouse, but it's much more awkward.
It's not doing it though. What the fuck? Why is it not? Oh, maybe I need to use the toggle button, not the. Okay. Clear it out. Turn that one. There we go. Now it's moving back and forward. All right.
Okay, so you want it in the aft position, not
Yep.
forward. Right, so you're now ready really to get us started, and the way you're going to do that is you'll push the starter and booster buttons. It will start to turn over. When it starts to catch, which is fairly soon, you then hit your button to flick your mixture lever forward, and then you can let everything go,
Okay.
because you've already got your throttle forward, haven't you? So there, and that's why you need your brake on. The Spitfire's light, and if you haven't got your brake on, even sort of low revs, it'll probably pull forward. So make sure your brake is fully on.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna open the canopy so I can hear better.
Yes, you need your canopy open, definitely. When we take off or land in the Spitfire, it's canopy open. I don't know about other aircraft or why it should be different, but I've seen people flying Spitfires on YouTube, and that is the standard procedure. Spitfire canopy open for landing or takeoff, and I think it's only so that if there's an incident, they can just reach in and pull you out rather than having to smash through a canopy.
Alright, I'm gonna try it and listen. What am I listening for the you know, the
Listening.
turnover or whatnot?
Oh,
Yeah.
hang on a minute. Let me just select you, just so that I can
Alright.
watch.
Just click on me and press F2.
Gotcha. Right. So now, if you push
And
those
if you
two.
now hold, if you now wait, let me see which button it is. I think it's so if you press left control and F11, then you get like a free cam, which is pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
Just
I
try
don't
it.
do
It's
it.
pretty
I
neat.
don't do F keys. I never touch my keyboard. Not when I'm airborne, certainly.
Well, you can rebind it as well to a button, but it's pretty neat. Anyway.
Right, so you're gonna and before you move off, you will need to get armed, because this aircraft in this position won't have any ammo. But we'll deal with
That's
that.
fine. I'm not worried with armament right now. I
that's
just want to try and
yeah, that's fine.
take
Okay,
off and all
so
that.
so you're gonna push your starter and your booster buttons of whatever buttons you've got mapped, and then when it starts to it'll whine as it spins over, and then very soon you can hear it start to catch, and then just flick that mixture lever forward.
All right.
That's it, lever forward. Bit more throttle. Okay, so have you got you got your magnetos on, aren't they? You've got your fuel on.
I think I let go of the
Air Joe
buttons
8.
too early. But
Hey
yeah.
Bill, how's it going?
Hi Joe, yeah, I'm a bit busy at the moment helping Wing Zero with his Spitfire. You'll probably need to reprime. If it doesn't start, you probably need to reprime.
Okay.
You're going to hold your booster and starter buttons all the time until it's kicking in, and then once the engine seems to have kicked in, you're going to throw that mixture lever forward. Bit more
Air Joe
throttle.
8. No worries, good luck on the spit.
Thank you, sir. Unfortunately, of course, I can't see inside your cockpit. I can't. So what might be wrong? So let me just think. Have you got your fuel lever? Oh, did you turn your fuel on? Oh, that could be something I missed. My apologies.
Turn the fuel pump on. The little red
Yeah,
switch
yeah,
you
but
told
there's
me.
a fuel lever as well. Hold on, let me go
Okay.
back. Let me go back to my. That's a very bad omission on my part. It's because it's partly covered up. If you look at my my stream now, I'll show you the fuel lever.
Yeah. Okay.
Your fuel lever needs to be in the up position.
Yeah, that was done. All right.
Yeah, my apologies.
All right, that's up. All right. Let's see.
Same thing, prime it. You're cooking. Careful, not too many revs, she will nose over. That's it. You probably your rev counter is. Hold on, I'll go back to mine again. The rev counter is top right.
Is it the RPM one?
Yeah, RPM, and for taxiing, you want that to be in the region of. It starts at about 1,000. Next mark is 1500, so you want it to be roughly in the region of 13 or 1400 RPM for taxiing. And so from where you are, you're going to give it left rudder, and then once it's moving, you'll use your brake lever. So you take your brake off before you move, take your brake off, and then use your brake lever and your rudder pedals to put braking on the left wheel to turn out of that bay. Okay, left rudder and some brake, less revs. Okay, that's looking good. Oh, okay, it will nose over quite easily, but yeah, a little bit more left and make your way to the runway. You'll be constantly adjusting your rudder pedals and your brake while you're taxiing to keep her straight. Remember what they said about the Spitfire? She was a lady in the air, but she was a bitch on the ground. So left rudder, I'm not seeing your rudder moving. Maybe that's a graphics thing. I'm going to give it quite a lot of left rudder to put the brake on the left wheel. That's it. It's a bit like a boat. Once you think you're getting near the direction you want to be, you've got to stop guidance. You've then got to kind of counteract it maybe with a little movement the other way. So you want to be taxiing at round about 1400 RPM. There's a lot of stop and start there. I'm wondering if there's a mapping issue. Not a mapping, a curve type issue.
No, it's just
Well,
that I've got the brake bound to an axis and it's always turned on, so I have to press it to be able to pick it go.
okay, well that's something that you'll get the feel of. Part of it is like off, on off, on off, on off type movements of the brake and the rudder. You've got to respond to Laxor. I'll be back. Once you get the feel of the Spit and you like it, highly recommend, if you're not already aware of it, getting the Echo 19 engine sound for the Spit, because it's beautiful. Better than the DCS sound. You're doing alright, you're doing alright. I know that it's definitely not intuitive when you're guiding a Spit. So what I do, because I'm using an axis for the brake, there's a kind of a sweet spot where the brake is always a little bit on and therefore your rudder pedals are going to affect your movement because the brake is always slightly on.
A slight tension, I think I found it.
Excellent, it's looking good, looking good. Now, do you want me to switch back to mine and show you what I do for takeoff, or do you want me to just talk through?
I think if you just talk me through it, probably handier.
Okay, okay. So if you pull onto runway, she has a tendency to go to the left. Oh, actually stay where you are for a moment, because we want to adjust your trims. If you don't adjust the trims, you will have trouble. So I'm going to go back to mine. Right, now for takeoff, let's zoom in a bit. For takeoff, you want, I use a nose down trim of its level. So you need to adjust that, and you can adjust that with the mouse if you want to on this wheel here when it catches up. Nose down trim level, and then rudder trim fully right. I'll put mine fully right because it isn't at the moment. Full right rudder and level nose down.
Where's the dial for that? Or just
There's no dial, there's no gauge for your rudder trim. It's just that knob. You turn it until it's as far left as it will go for takeoff.
all the way right? Right. Okay.
Right, so you set your nose down trim, you set your rudder.
Mm-hmm.
I normally set my altitude as well at this point, just to zero it for this airfield. I'll explain first before you do anything. I'll explain what I'm going to do, or what you're going to do for takeoff.
The altitude thing, what do I set it to, or?
Set the altitude to 12 o'clock, 0.
Oh, okay.
That's what I do. I set it to 0 so that this airfield is going to be set at 0 feet. I'm sure that's probably not right, but never mind. It does mean.
Let's see. It should be 508 feet, actually.
Okay, well, set it where you prefer. That's the thing.
No, that's fine. I'm just saying that's the altitude of the runway.
Yeah, but you can set it for that or whatever. Main thing is just not to crash into it.
That would be, anyway.
Okay, so are you now ready to receive instruction for takeoff?
I still need to try to get on the runway first.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. But don't go anywhere, just get on the runway. And she will want to pull to the left. So, especially being new to it, I'd start off mainly to the right of the runway, so that if you do drift across, you won't be drifting onto the grass too soon. And when you are in position to think about taking off, note where the horizon cuts across your field of view, like where it cuts across your windscreen, basically. Because when you come into land, you want to see the horizon at that point as you're about to touch down.
I understand what you mean by that, but all right.
Okay, well, as you look, jump into mine.
Hmm.
Yeah, if you look at mine, you'll see that the horizon is roughly at the bottom of my sight, roughly at this bottom part of the window.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so remember what that looks like, and then when you're coming into land, when you're about to touch down, that's what you want to see, so that you'll be hopefully landing with 3 wheels rather than on 2. But that's, I mean,
My first word is taking off. Landing is secondary.
absolutely. Oh, you can easily get down, but not necessarily land.
All right.
Okay, so you're on a runway. So, hang on.
Do I need to do anything with the flaps or?
No, you don't use flaps for takeoff on a spit. You only use them for landing.
Okay.
And even then, if you've lost one of your flaps in a battle, then it's probably safer not to use it, because it will probably want to roll. If you've lost one flap, put your flaps down, and it's going to want to roll horribly. So if you know you've lost a flap, it's probably best to just land without flaps.
Yeah. Is there anything else I need to turn on, like electronics or something?
Like what? Sorry.
Is there anything else I need to turn on, like electronics or something?
No, you're good for that. Your engine's running. You should be seeing that your gear is down on your gear indicator. Yeah, just in front of you to the left.
I see it says up and down, but yeah.
Both together.
Yeah, they're not lit up though. I can just see the.
Oh, okay, right. Now, just below the throttle, and this is once again that I omitted, but it's not so important. When you do your brake and before you start the engine, when you put your brake fully on and you do your prop pitch, you also nudge your throttle forward, and there's a switch just underneath the throttle, and then the throttle catches that switch and nudges it forward. So what you can do now is duck down, and just under your throttle you'll see that switch, and you can click it so that it goes forward, and that will put on your gear indicator light.
Okay.
So you've now got gear indicator, yeah?
Yeah, it says down.
Yep, that's good. Okay. Right, now for takeoff, it's going to be behind, but what you're going to do for takeoff is stick fully back, full right aileron, and make sure your throttle's right back. Take your brake off, so it's throttle right back, so it's on tick over. Brake fully off, stick full right aileron. Sorry, fully back and full right aileron.
What? Quick question: if I all the way to the throttle back, will the engine cut out, or?
No, if you pull the throttle right back, the engine won't cut out.
Okay.
So once again, I'll go through this before you actually do it, because there's a few things you've got to try to remember. So, so throttle fully back, brake off. Now she won't roll forward. Stick fully back, full right aileron. You're then going to
aileron. Does that mean just pitch to the right?
Fully right, yeah. Stick fully back and fully right.
No.
So you're going to hold it there as you throttle up, and you're going as you throttle up. Sorry, I'll keep letting go and push the talk. When you throttle up, your boost gauge will creep up, and let me zoom in. Your boost gauge, you want to be in a region of 8 to 10, perhaps closer to 10 as you take off, because that responds to your throttle. So boost up to about 10, you'll be rolling forward, and we do what's called dancing on the rudder pedals, because you're going to be doing that just to try to keep us straight along the runway. So you're dancing on the rudder pedals. As you throttle up to boost 8, you're also going to be gradually letting the stick come back to its normal position, and then roughly by that time you will have reached on your airspeed indicator, which is to the left of the artificial horizon. You'll want to get to about 80 or 90 miles an hour. So when you're there, you can pull back slightly, just rotate slightly like that. If you see my screen, just rotate about that much. She will lift off, hold it where it is, and she'll go. But when you want to bring your gear up immediately, and that could cause her to drop. So you've got to be prepared to pull the stick back just a touch. And she is responsive, so you don't want to go too mad with it. Right, so once you're in the air, we can go through this again in a second if you like, or just ask me for a reminder. Once you're in the air, your gear goes up, and adjust your prop pitch to pull your prop pitch lever back to give about 2,700 RPM, which is roughly the 10 or 11 o'clock mark on that RPM gauge. Once you've done that,
Whoa, I don't understand. You mean the throttle?
no, the prop pitch. So once you're flying, you leave your throttle where it is pretty much. Once you're at about boost 8 on that red gauge, you leave the throttle where it is, and once you've taken off, you'll pull back your prop pitch so that it brings your revs.
You mean the black little lever?
Yeah, the little black lever. Pull that back so that your revs come down to about 2,700, and the needle will point roughly 10 or 11 o'clock. As if it was a clock, it'll point to roughly 10 or 11 o'clock. So it's difficult to remember.
30. Like 30 then.
Sorry?
Like 30 then on the RPM.
Sorry, sir, I'm not catching that. Try again.
Like 30 then.
30?
On the RPM gauge. Yes, that's 12 o'clock. 30.
Oh, yeah. So you're going to pull the prop pitch so that the needle drops to about the 10 or 11 o'clock mark, which makes it about 2,700 revs. So instead of 3,000 revs, that's the 30, is 3,000 revs. Pull the prop pitch back so that it drops to about 2,700 revs. Because the next mark down, as you go anti-clockwise, is 2,500. So it's going to be between the 30 and the mark before it. Yeah?
But between 2,500 and 30.
Yeah. I think 2,700 is what they say. So, but anywhere between that is good. And then once you're flying and you're doing okay, and your prop and your boost might still be at about 10 or 12, and you've adjusted your prop pitch to give 2,700 RPM, you would then pull your throttle back a bit so that your boost drops down to about 7. Let me pull in. So you'll pull back your throttle so your boost is round about 7. And apparently with a boost at 7 and your RPM at 2,700, apparently she'll fly all day like that. So you're not going to burn anything out. Okay.
I'm more worried of getting it in the air than burning the engine out. So at this point,
I know. And
this is a lot of information.
I know it is. Don't forget, you can be doing this pretty much all the time as you take off, just to try and keep her straight, because she's going to want to wander. That's why I say she's a bitch on the ground, because she's going to want to wander.
I mean, when I tried the 109, it took me like 4 hours of constantly crashing, not taking off. And had to try again the next day, and it still took me a pretty long time before I even got her off to here.
Well, hopefully with this information that I can give, it won't take 4 hours. It might not be a first time takeoff, but it might not take 4 hours. And don't pull the stick back too far, just enough to lift her off. Note that she's lifted off, then get your gear up. Have you got a something mapped for your gear?
Yeah, button.
Okay, that's good.
Button on the
Okay.
throttle.
Well, if there's any other questions, ask away. Failing that, have a go. First thing, of course, is take your brake off, because if you don't, you will nose over as soon as you start trying to throttle up. It's a fairly smooth and quick throttle up to boost 8 or 10 on that red gauge.
Hmm. I need to find a better situation on my fucking brake though, because I would have to hold it the entire time on takeoff.
Oh, okay.
It's a let go and it breaks
No,
kind of
yeah.
setting at the moment.
Well, you let go and it breaks.
Yeah.
Right, it's just inverted then. You need to
No,
go.
it's not inverted.
It's not. Oh, okay. Why does
No.
it break when you let go? That doesn't make sense.
Mm.
Should be that when you put just take it. Hang on. Let me show you mine. I'm going to show you mine.
The reason for that, it's spring loaded as well.
Ah, so it is like a bike lever then. It does it.
Yeah, it's the little like brake lever you have on your stick.
Yeah.
On a lot of sticks.
All right. Well, hold
But
on.
it's
Let me
spring loaded,
just
so.
axis tune. Let me show you. Right. Now my slider doesn't need to be inverted, but yours needs to look like that, and if
No, mine
necessary,
doesn't.
invert.
I mean, mine's a straight line.
Oh, it could. Yeah,
But
it could be a straight line.
yeah.
I mean, you'll
But
tweak that.
it is set to slider, and the settings are the same except for the -24. I can
And
try doing that.
when I put my brake fully on, look at the red and the black dot. Mine is doing that. It's over on the left. Is that what yours does when your brake is fully on?
No, they're in the middle.
Okay. Ah. Oh, okay. That's a slightly different setup to what I've got. Now, having said that,
Mm-hmm.
all you need to do is somehow work out a way that your brake is off without you having to hold anything, because you need to take your brake off for takeoff. Just take the brake fully off.
I think what I'm going to do is assign it to like a flip switch instead of an axis.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But then if I do that, I won't be able to taxi though. It's annoying.
Well, you can. People do. It's just constantly tapping that switch. But yeah, it could be. I'm sure we can. I'm sure we can do this. I'm sure we can do this. If you were to invert it, I wonder if that would help.
Yeah, then it would be let go, and guess I could do that. Yeah,
So you let go and the brake is off. That's what you want.
But that feels weird when taxiing, though. Alright, that's fair.
Well, as I said, it's not very intuitive. It's not comfy, the Spitfire, for taxiing. It takes a while.
Well, it's off now anyway.
Okay, so if the brake is fully off and your throttle is at the moment obviously fully back, otherwise you'd have been rolling forward.
Yeah.
It's difficult to show it on here, but you're probably going to about, if you watch my, obviously it's got to catch up, but watch my throttle and you'll see how quickly you throttle up. So I'm ready to go. I throttle up about there like that, and about that quickly, by which time the boost gauge will have got to about 8, and then once it gets to about there and you've got 80 miles 90 miles an hour, say, and then you can just rotate a bit and let her take off. Pull back too far, well, give it a try, because there's nothing like learning by doing it. And of course, you could practice this without having to keep taxiing. You could go into instant action and go for takeoff, and your engine will even be running ready for you.
Oh, boys.
I didn't see what happened, unfortunately.
I was kiting.
Yeah, did it? Is that perhaps because you had maybe your stick was too far back? Maybe it only wants small movements on the spit.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to prime just 3 times. Crack the throttle. I think I've got a repair bug because the engine isn't turning over, and it should be.
At least you still have an engine. Anyway.
Right, I'm going to respawn. I've got a, oh, it could be that my battery's run down, I suppose. Yeah, it could just be that my battery's run down because I've been sitting here for so long. Okay, I'm going to respawn.
Request refueling. Request
Copy.
rearming.
Oops.
Copy.
Are you spawning in again?
Yeah, I nosed over already. Anyway. At least.
Where are you then?
It's spawning me further.
Oh, it's right
east.
over the side there. Yeah, okay.
See if I can find a fucking. Would be nice if I could. Let's see. Access controls. Can I
Rearming complete.
find a trim? There we go. Elevator trim. And okay, so if I put that on my throw. Question is good. No,
Make sure your throttle is fully back before you start as well, of course, because well, not fully back, but just a little bit open, about 1 inch open. Otherwise, yeah, that's going to nose you over.
Yeah.
I'm going to start up. I didn't. I didn't prime. Darn it. That's because I just primed when I was on the runway. I think I've done it, but I've now respawned. Right, I'm going to take off very soon, so if it helps to watch my stream on that, that's fine.
I'm kind of super focused on taxiing right now, so.
Oh, you're actually taxiing. Good, good. Okay. Yeah, well, you don't want to be watching anything else when you're taxiing. I'm going to take off. I'm going to have to come and give you a buzz because it's what we do. Now if you follow that taxiway that you're heading for now, that will take you straight up to the runway. And part of this, to be honest, is not just skills in taxiing or flying, it's having things set, it's your setup, your key bindings, your tuning perhaps sometimes of your curves. So when you take off, when you get to about 80 miles an hour, 85, 90 miles an hour, you pull back your stick a little bit and just let it take off, and then stop pulling back. Just as soon as she starts to lift off, just hold it just there, and let her pick up, and then get your gear up. You want to turn right onto that runway really to give yourself room. That's good. Right, do you need any reminders?
Don't think so. Pull back and...
Okay, but don't pull back much. Remember, the spit is very sensitive. They used to say, like, you only had to think what you had to do, and she would do it because just thinking about it gave her a little nudge that she needed, and that's all she needs. Probably pulled your stick back too far before, that was all.
Oh, you said pull it all the way back and forward, right?
Oh, only to start. You have to let your stick come forward to its normal position before you take off. As you're going along the runway ready to take off, your stick is coming forward to its normal position. By the time it gets a normal position, you'll be at 80 miles an hour, and then you can pull back slightly, very slightly. Stick as normal. Small pull back when you get to 80. Hold it, pull back a fraction again. Keep going, hold it steady. Let her go, let her take it. You're airborne, second chance, second time, how's that? Gear up. I can't see if you've got your gear up, so I'm just saying stuff.
Yeah,
Gear up, adjust your prop pitch to about 2,700 RPM. Put your throttle back to give about 7 on the boost gauge, which is round about just before 3 o'clock. I've just flown past you and lost you, don't I?
Flying towards Black Smoke at the moment.
Towards Black Smoke. Oh, okay. Yeah, be careful in that area. There are some things on the ground that will try to shoot you down. So probably best to turn back to the airfield if you can.
Yeah, turning right.
All gentle movements. But well done, airborne on second attempt. That's pretty darn good.
I did have some practice in the 109 a long time ago. So.
Well, yeah, but they are different. So that's all good. Oh, I found you. Stick to the airfield area for a moment if you can, just so that you don't stand too much chance of getting shot down by roads. And the feel of flight.
Feels like I'm gonna break it though. Feels very wobbly.
Just try holding. Just try for steady level fly and then gentle turns. I'm at your 4 o'clock at the moment. I've got my canopy open, but I should have closed it really. I just love the sound of this engine with the canopy open.
I hope I set the, let's see, it's in between 8 and 6.
You can give a bit more. Well, on the boost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about right then. Between 8 and 6 is about right. You should fly forever like that, apparently, if you're doing about 2,700.
It's 25,000, 26, 27. Yeah, it's a little bit over 27,000.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
If I let go of the stick though, it feels like it's going to...
Well, now you need to retrim, okay?
Okay.
So your rudder is fully right, I believe. So bring your rudder back so that the double D of the word rudder is at about the 1 o'clock area on that knob. Once you've done that, adjust your nose down trim so that you're...
I'm having issues with the rudder.
Oh, okay.
I think I scrolled up a couple of times today. So just a little bit the, it should say rudder, right? On top there.
Yes, so the double D of the word rudder at round about the 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock position on that.
12 o'clock, right?
Yeah, at the top, basically. I mean, it still won't be quite right, but you can adjust that as you fly. Just let go in a minute. Not yet. You need to adjust your nose down trim. So you want to adjust your nose down trim so that instead of being flat and level as it was, it's just above 1 division above level. And you can then you can let go of the stick and see what she does and adjust. If she's diving, adjust the nose down trim, and if she's turning, adjust the rudder trim. You should be able to get it so that she's basically flying by herself.
But she still wants to roll left.
Okay, so give it some right rudder. Maybe your rudder's just come too far back, so give it a bit more right rudder. So it's adjust it, feel it, adjust it, feel it. Mine is flying pretty much all by itself now because I've adjusted. So my trim.
I need to bind these two buttons. I'm gonna have to bind up to like a half or something. For now. Oh, that's done.
Yeah, the double D of rudder on my aircraft is now pretty much at the top, just not quite far back enough to be at the top. And my elevator trim is a fraction above the first division of nose up. Oh yeah, you're quite low. You probably do well to pick up a bit of altitude for safety.
I did turn the HUD on.
I found you at the last. Good.
At the moment, hands off, so...
Well, that's good. If your hands off and she's flying pretty good, then remember where those trim needles are, or where you trim your nose down and your rudder trim are set at the moment. Remember that. Have you found your altimeter?
Yeah, it's below the speedometer.
Yeah, okay. Well, what I like to do is climb to about 2,000, level her off, go inverted, and then once I'm...
Which are the little 3 meters that needs to point some the actual altitude? That's confusing.
Okay, yeah, so the little... Forget the very small one, because that's going to be for much higher altitudes. But the second largest will be hundreds of feet, and the
I'm
biggest...
300 feet down.
3,000. No, you're at 3,000 feet at the moment. Sorry, I don't know. I probably said that wrong. Sorry. So we are at 3,000 feet at the moment. What I like to do is invert, and then once I'm fully inverted, pull the stick back, and then you'll end up doing a 180-degree turn. I'll get ahead of you if you like and show you what I mean.
No, I think I know what you mean.
That's good. That's good.
Can you do the reverse as well?
The reverse.
Yeah, like pull up and rotate. Like so.
Wow, yeah. Remember where you're headed at the moment. There is some dangerous stuff there.
I've turned already.
That's good. Someone's shooting at you. Got some dangerous areas. Nice.
I think like flying helicopters translates pretty well to warbirds because it's also small movements and
Yeah, I'm bad with choppers, I've got to say. I can take off in the Chinook, but landing
I mean,
is...
you would be considering you fly a warbird, it should be easier for you than somebody that flies, let's say, a Hornet or something. You know?
Well, those aircraft almost do it for you, don't they? I mean, that's why I've got the F-16, but I don't do it. I don't use it because you don't even have to put flaps down on the F-16. It does it all for you. You seem to be enjoying yourself and having fun with that. That's good.
But do you leave the throttle and stuff like this all the time? Isn't there like, like you have to go full throttle to catch up to planes and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to really sort of go for it, you'd probably put your prop pitch fully forward, and just push your throttle to give you something in the region of, say, 14, 16 boost.
How high can you go with the Spitfire?
I'm not sure what the ceiling is, but I think you'd be looking at 25,000.
It's probably lower than that because I think it's like 18,000 when you start getting oxygen or something. Do you have oxygen in this?
Yeah. Well, assume well, I never get that high. I never have to worry about it. I should look at that. I feel as I've been to 25,000 in DCS. Might be wrong, a bit long time ago. And apparently, if you're going to change your RPM, so you should change, if you're going to adjust RPM and throttle, it should be RPM first and give it a second to settle down, and then adjust your throttle.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how important that is or what real difference it makes. It's just something I believe is the case.
Does this thing come with like internal ammo?
Internal ammo? What would you do?
Yeah, as in like without having to like put stuff on it on the arming window. Like well, most jets have gun ammo loaded by default.
Oh, I see. I don't tend to use jets, so I wouldn't know that. But no, not on the Spitfire. You're going to need to, as soon as you spawn in, you need to get armed.
Yeah. So I have nothing aboard right now. Machine guns or cannons or anything.
And you've only got about 15 seconds of button press when you do
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah, at this altitude I can only get a boost of 6.
Yeah. What, you're about 20?
17.
Oh, I'm higher than you. Okay. I'm at 19.
I'm currently set to the trim, not the trim, the prop to 27.
I've got mine fully fine now for climbing. So it's forward. I'm at 3,000 RPM. I'm at 20,000. If you haven't already, you might want to put your pitot heat on, otherwise you might find you can't read your airspeed.
Alright. What was that?
Sorry, if you haven't already, you're on the left where you're near where your fuel pump is. The middle switch is your pitot heat, and your pitot heat will prevent icing on your pitot tube. So if your ice is up, you won't be able to read your airspeed. So you need your pitot heat on to prevent icing.
Pilot heat. That's not it, right?
Pitot, P-I-T-O-T, pitot.
And where is that?
It's the middle of those two switches near the rudder.
Yeah, that says pilot heat, not pitot, but yes.
Right,
Next to the fuel
shouldn't-
pump, right? Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. No, pitot. It is pitot. P-I-T-O-T. It looks a bit like an L, but it's a T.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm currently at 22,000.
21.
Lovely blue sky. Love it. So at the moment I'm at full throttle and I'm fully, prop pitch is fully fine. So 3,000 RPM. 24,000. As far as I understand, the optimal climb speed is 180 miles per hour on your airspeed indicator. So if your speed drops below 180, you're climbing too fast.
Yeah, I'm trouble reading that speed meter. Because the dial's kind of hanging in between where there's no numbers at the moment.
Okay.
Now it's hanging around 26. Let's do 60
Yeah,
240.
260 miles an hour if you're looking at that airspeed indicator. Yeah. My speed is lower than that because I'm still climbing. About 200, I'm about 210.
How fast can you go in a dive before you break the wings off?
I don't know. Try it. I've just gone past 26,000. I'm approaching 27,000. I'm over 20,000. I've gone beyond 27,000.
You can see you contrailing from here.
All right.
That might be something else. That might be the Casey one too.
Yeah, so I just looked at myself on third party and I didn't see any.
It's something on the left side. It might be you.
To your left, yes.
No, that's definitely you contrailing.
I can't see that on mine.
Yeah, You might have that the details turned down or something.
Oh no, it's doing it now. I'm seeing it now. I'm getting it. I'm getting contrail. And I'm at 20,000, almost 30,000 feet.
I guess we should probably try to land this thing now.
Okay, RTB. So I'm going to now pull back my prop pitch and then throttle back to the speed because we're going to pick up speed. Pulled my throttle right back now and I'm doing approaching 360 RPM mph. Got my throttle right back on the stop now. Doing 140. No, hang on. It's got to be 360. I'm going to make my approach on 08, so coming in from the west.
Got it. I'm just circling the airfield right now.
So getting down to about, I don't know, 1,000 feet, you want to get to about, drop to about 140 miles an hour for your approach, gear down at about 140 and flaps down at about 120 maybe. And you haven't landed in a Spitfire until it stops moving, because any time during that it can go bananas on you. Open your canopy when you come in to land.
Also, I've not burned my flaps button.
Ah,
I can see. I
can
see
click
it on
it.
the cockpit though.
yeah, you can click it, yeah. So canopy open, prop pitch fully forward, fully fine for landing. Doing 140, I'm going to drop my gear in a second. So I'm coming in from the west, 08. About 1,000 feet. I'll pick up speed as I drop. When you put your flaps down, the nose will dip, probably quite heavily, so be ready to pull back on the stick a little bit. When I land, I start to use the rudder and the brake to try and keep myself straight. I'm going to move to the north edge of the runway.
Is it throttle all the way down for landing, or?
Throttle. Maintain about 140 miles an hour. So use your throttle to maintain about 140 miles an hour for your gear, and then probably hold it round about there, maybe dropping back a bit if your speed picks up, because you want to drop to speed to about 120 by the time you hit the beginning of the runway, so your flaps are going to be down before that at about 120. Very gentle movements. Remember where the horizon's supposed to be, so before you stick back a fraction, a drop, throttle back a bit, throttle back a fraction. Use your brake and throttle. You got down in one piece. You haven't broken anything. Well done. Congratulations. That was a damn good flight.
It was a bit bouncy though.
It's a Spitfire, and what I've seen, I saw a piece of YouTube of looking from behind of a Spitfire landing, and it bounced, and the commentary was basically, on a Spitfire, if you have one bounce, that's still regarded as a perfect landing.
Okay.
So hopefully you'll stick with the Spit and give it some more time. Remember to put your flaps up in case you take off again.
Got the canopy earlier.
See if you're going to take off again. I mean, you might need to refuel, but if you're going to take off again, you need to reset set your trims.
Let's see.
By the way, Wing, we made that just okay, because if you, on the bottom right of your instrument panel, there's a fuel gauge. If you press the button beside it, it will tell you how much you've got left in your reserve tank, and mine is only just about moving.
It says 30.
Going right across the oh yeah, perhaps I was just pumping it out a bit more, because and of course I had my canopy open a lot. That's going to take more fuel, and I was flying before you took off, so perhaps that's where my fuel went. But you're probably in the region of coming down onto your reserve tank. Mine is just
yeah, I mean mine's on empty, but like the reserve says 30, so
Not sure what you mean. You reserve. Where are you looking?
Once you press the button, it says 30.
Oh, okay.
Or says
Yeah,
50.
it always reads
sorry.
0 until you press that button. So it always looks as though it's empty, but when you press the button, yours is going across to the 30. So you've still got quite a lot of fuel left because you were flying after I was, and I was really pushing it to get to the altitude that I got to.
Yeah, the one thing I need to change is the trim controls, the hard switch. Oh wait, I don't have to like let go of the stick and try to use the mouse.
Yeah, hat switch for because mine was actually marked. I've got a hat switch that actually says nose down, nose up, left and right for the rudder.
Yeah, well, it's a trim. That's a trim switch. Yeah, I want to.
Oh, that's the ideal. I didn't realise you'd taken off again. That was a nice pass. I'm probably going to think about folding now. We normally finish at about in the region of 2:30, which is 2:15 for me now. So there's not much more that I'll do in 15 minutes. So
Fair enough.
I'll probably fold that.
Thank you for the help. I probably still will have to practice the start because I used a hot start on the second try there. But
Yeah, you'll get the hang of that. I mean, there's just a few things you mustn't forget, like don't forget to prime, don't forget to put your magnetos on, don't forget to turn your fuel on. So it's basically fuel, magnetos, prime, but before that, make sure your your brake is on, and the prop pitch is fully fine. And as I say, I recommend going to Echo 19 and getting the Spitfire sound. I think you'll appreciate the difference. I'm also hearing you with my Spitfire sound as opposed to the DCS sound.
I think they did the rework sound for the Kiowa as well.
All right. I've just shut my engine down, so it's peaceful in my cockpit now. Could do with a little comfort break, so by the time I've popped up another drain, it'll be no time to do anything. Nice. I'm really chuffed with the way you did that. You did really well. I thought Spitfire is a bit tricky, and you did it really well.
But yeah, it has a little bit to do with like the BF 109 practice I did, and obviously the fact that I fly a lot of helicopter. I put a lot of hours in helicopters, and it's also very small movements and adjusting things. So
Yeah. That's it's so easy to pull back the stick or whatever too much on a Spitfire, and probably on a 109 as well. I've got the 109, haven't flown it for yonks, maybe longer, but it's another good aircraft, but a tail dragging small wheelbase, so yeah, both got their difficulties. I want the Hurricane, that's what I want, but they're not going to make it.
I want a B-17
Yeah, but...
or Lancaster or something.
Oh, the Lancaster, whoa. Yeah, say no more. I mean, just imagine...
I just want something to have multi-crew in, you know.
Yeah, well, to have multi-crew in a Lancaster, that'll be really amazing. Another lovely pass, thank you.
Ah, let's try another landing to finish off the evening.
Yep, and I'll keep stum and just allow you to land in peace.
Let's see here. What was it again? Prop pitch forward.
Canopy open. They're supposed to be shutting up. Axel has just asked me how long am I going to be on for, because he wasn't able to get here earlier. I'm going to tell him I'll be here as long as he wants to be, so I might not be going yet. I'm going to speak because I've noticed your gear's not down, and I don't know if you've realised. That's okay. So normally it's gear and then flaps, but you've got your flaps down.
Because I have to click it and the gears are bound or buttons.
Right. Yeah. You land at about 80 miles an hour, same as you took off. Sorry, I can't stop. I should shut up. That was bloody excellent. I'm jealous.
The thing is, how do I explain this? I'm not like watching the gauges or anything. I do that by feeling, because that's the same way you kind of have to fly a helicopter after a while. You have to feel it, not like, because if you focus too much on the gauges, you can like make mistakes and crash.
I definitely get that. I tend to glance down at the airspeed indicator just to make sure I'm not too fast, but I should be used to it by now. I shouldn't need to do that.
Basically, I treat a warbird like a emergency landing. I just, I act like I don't have an engine,
Yeah.
and then just glide it in. Yeah, that's a short landing. Pretty nice.
It was really good, really good. Hold on, I've just got messages from Laxor. I'll be back a sec.
Once you're back, how do I turn this thing off so I can refuel it?
Well, you can refuel and rearm without turning the engine off. You have to turn the engine off to repair, but
okay.
to stop the engine, you just hit your lever, your fuel, your mixture lever, pull it back.
The yellow one? Copy. Yeah. I think I'll just leave it on. I'll just.
Yeah, it's only if if your engine's running and you ask for repair, for some reason they don't want to do it. So they'll say get unable to comply. But yeah, if you pull that mixture lever back, that would cut the engine.
Yeah, still 21% fuel according to this.
Wow. That might not be a percentage.
See, and it did say that I have 100% internal gun ammo still, so I should still have ammo, or so yeah.
It shows that you've got ammo, but you didn't ask to
Yeah.
load.
Yeah.
Well, that must have changed because
No, that's always been like that for every module that has an internal gun. It's 100%. But I think what you're thinking, because I can only put bombs on the plane, so I'm assuming the ammo is internal.
Well, we used to spawn in with ammo, but then Laxor made some changes because part of this mission is that we can run the base can run out of ammo and bombs. Yeah, so those changes meant that when we spawn in, we have to arm, because I've had to. So I don't understand how you don't.
How do you arm the gun then?
Wait. I realise what it is. You spawned in on a dynamic spawn, yeah?
Yeah.
That's why. Those ones, they come in with ammo.
Oh,
But the others, they don't. That's and I don't use the dynamic. I always use a particular one.
I just use it to get a hot start and be able to just practice taking off.
Yeah.
Earlier.
Yeah.
So how do I arm the aircraft? Is there a safety switch or an arm key or something?
How do you what the aircraft?
How do you arm it? So
you just have to get your comms menu up. And
not rearming, arming as in
make guns ready. Sorry, yes, guns ready. At the top of the stick, there's a little button. Now I've set a switch for that. When the button is up, your guns are ready. When the button is down, they're safe. The guns are safe. Can you see what I mean? At the top of the stick. Out is fire, in is safe.
No, I don't see it.
Top of the stick, where your button is, where your fire button is for your guns.
I see the writing on it. I just don't see the lever on it.
Oh no, it's not a lever. It's just a little. It's only an indicator. So you'd need to map something. I don't think you can click that. So you need to map something that makes your guns ready.
Alright.
I've got mine on a toggle, so and likewise your sight. I think you can turn your sight on.
I already found that.
You got that one. That's good.
Yeah. Gun safety lever toggle. Alright.
Axel's going to join us as well. We'll probably go till 3 o'clock.
There we go. Now the pin is out on the.
Okay, you're good to fire then, unless you happen to be pointing at me.
I mean, the nose is pointing up, so. Alright, that works. That's the machine gun. What's the machine? The can?
I have it mapped so that my first pressure on my stick fires machine gun, and the further press on my.
I use different buttons to fire weapons because in SOS I use the trigger as the push to talk. That's because of what most helicopter pilots use in real life. So.
Okay, yeah.
And I use that on the planes too, just to make it not confusing.
Okay, I'm gonna be AFK for a second while I take a quick comfort break, and I'll be back. And Laxel should be joining us, I think.
I might dip because it is 3 a.m. almost half 4 a.m. So
yeah.
For you, I still have some bad shoulder pain at the moment. So.
Oh dear.
But yeah, this was fun. I might have to hit you up to do this again because I'll probably forget most of this. So. Especially because next weekend, the new Dune. Frank Herbert's Dune game comes out, and I'll probably be playing that all weekend. So.
Okay. I only ever do this. The only game I do, apart from occasionally hidden object
Uh,
games, which are nice and
I
simple.
played this. I played Star Citizen. A couple other games.
Yeah.
Let's
Right.
see what else.
I'm
Install here.
I'm going to take a leak, and
Yeah.
if you're not there when I get back, we'll see you next time. And by all means, yeah, let me know if you want any reminders next time you're in a spit.
Yeah. Cool. I'll have to like. I'm probably gonna install like one of the World War II maps and try to shoot some Germans next time. Then
Okay, take care, sir. TTFN.
later.
Request refueling. Request
Copy.
rearming.
Copy.
Refueling complete. Rearming complete. repair. Copy. Request repair.
Copy.
Request refueling. Request
Copy.
rearming.
Copy. Refueling complete. Rearming complete.
Nice buzz.
Sure, I'm transmitting.
Say again.
124 check.
Yeah, copy. You copy me?
124 check. One, two, four check.
Yeah, you copy?
Ah, it's better. Yep.
Oh, hang on. I was on the other screen.
Mic check on this one.
Yeah, I did say that as a lovely fly over there, lovely buzz.
Yeah, I was able to hear you, but when my radio's in the wrong setting, I can't transmit.
Ah. Well, I thought I must have been on the wrong screen, but either way. I was giving Wing Zero some assistance earlier on with the Spitfire. He did so well. Really did. It took off on his second attempt and landed with a little bit of education, if you like, a little bit of advice. Landed on his first attempt and landed after that. Lovely fly around. It was really good. He did really well.
Nice. Been buzzing around the airfield, clearing enemy infantry that's encroaching.
Ah, there weren't any earlier on, so I must have crept in. Yeah, there weren't earlier on, so they must have crept in since.
pass.
Yeah, I've done better, but it's alright. Well, assuming you're talking to me. I was on a strafing.
Yeah, I was just watching you strafe those vehicles.
Out of ammo, RTB. And I think that'll probably be me for tonight.
Okay. I'll fly, I'll try and get up tomorrow night. Do,
Yeah.
I think we're not compensate, but you know what I mean, sort of make up for not flying the last couple of nights.
Yeah. Well, that was quite a successful night one way or another, really. With Ring Zero and things, that really worked quite well. We also went very high. We got up to 30,000 feet.
Oh, well, not bad. Did you have to switch on the oxygen?
What?
Did you have to use oxygen in the end? I'm not sure if it automatically switches on.
Don't know if it's modelled or what, but I didn't suffer. I didn't pass out.
Right.
One oh nine's knocking around now. I'll probably get taken out. Okay, well I'm going to fold now. Yeah, it's been quite good, although brief for Well, flying together, a bit brief, but better that than nothing.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was caught up and stuff, but
Ah, that's all right. No worries.
I can fly tomorrow instead.
All right, catch you tomorrow. Take care.
And take care.
All right, take care. If anyone's still on my stream, thanks for being there, and we'll be flying again tomorrow night, which is a little bit unusual. At the time it goes to, probably not late, because obviously that'll be Monday the following day. So we'll be up, but not late. So thanks for being there.